You have lots of patience and all the time in the world. No, you don't. Which brings us to the second component of setting good SMART goals, and that is timeliness or being time bound. Yes. Now, I love setting SMART goals, especially for health and fitness stuff. And I love me a good acronym. And I love that we can spell SMART with all of these different components of a really good goal. But as we discussed last week, the R is number one and the most important, and that is relevant. Make sure that you set a relevant goal. It doesn't stand for reasonable or realistic. It stands for relevant or reason, your reason for having the goal. If you have no relevance, no reason, you have no reason to do it. You want to make sure it's something that you're passionate about. And after that, the next piece is time bound, timeliness. When are you going to do your goal? Okay. When are you going to bite off the first chunk? Now, some goals are really big and they're going to take a long time to achieve. A person who has 300 pounds to lose is not going to do that in a short time frame, but it's not going to be helpful to say, oh, okay, I'm going to determine my goal and then it's going to take 3 years to achieve, so I'll get started and keep going. No, you don't have the patience for that. Nobody has the patience for a 3-year-long goal. Nobody has the patience for a year-long goal even. A month is push, and it's 6 weeks in general for most people is the maximum amount of attention span or time frame we can dedicate to a specific goal, which is why 1 month or 6 weeks 4 to 6 weeks is a good block of time for training, for developing different goals, for seeing that progress. Now, at this point, you might be saying, wait a minute, shouldn't specific be the next thing? Shouldn't I pick a specific piece of my goal to be working on? No, I argue that time is the next piece, and that will direct which specific piece of the goal you want to bite off and actually see measurable progress on. Once we have a time frame set, we know when we're going to start working on it, we know when we're going to end working on it for that chunk, for that little brick in the multi-brick house that you are building for this massive goal, whatever it is, that big reason, that big why that you're building up to. Once we have a specific time frame, then you can really understand, okay, what is it that I can reasonably fit into that time frame? Because let's be real, if you're an adult with a schedule and things going on in your life, chances are there's a lot of external pressure, a lot of outside forces dictating when you actually have time and how much time you have to allot to a given goal. You have to squeeze whatever your goals are in between all your other life stuff. And should we prioritize ourselves? Yes. Should we prioritize the things that we're working on? Of course. But we have to be at least conscious of the fact that there are going to be these other pressures. The world doesn't stop just because you came up with a SMART goal, right? You have to figure out when it's going to fit in, and that timeliness, that not only which hours of the day are you going to dedicate it to it, but which days of the week, how many weeks in a row, how many consecutive weeks. All of these things should come into consideration after we have the big goal in mind, after we have that big reason of, why what we're going to do, why we're going to do what we're going to do. Now, when are we going to do it? That is the next thing you want to ask. So we are going to be reordering all of these letters in SMART goals over the next few weeks because relevance comes first, timeliness comes second. You want to make sure that you create the time, that you create the space in your schedule to actually be able to do the action steps that are required to get to your goal. Now, once you have the time carved out, then you can say, okay, what can I fit in this time, right? Specifically, what is reasonable, achievable for me to fit in this time? How am I going to measure that? That is why timeliness comes next. Okay, so quick recap here. Let's say I have the goal of losing 50 pounds. I start off with my relevance. Why? Why is that important to me? Is it important just so I can fit in my pants? Maybe that's not good enough. Is it important for health reasons? Maybe that's not good enough. And maybe it's important for vanity reasons. Maybe it's important because somebody in my family died of the same complications that I'm now experiencing. Maybe it's important to me because I want to do something really fun, really cool with my body. Maybe it's important to me because of my internal identity. Whatever those reasons are, whatever the most relevant reasons are, I'm going to make sure that I keep those top of mind, that it's not just like, oh, well, I guess I want to lose 50 pounds. It'd be nice, you know, gee whiz, it'd be nice is not enough relevance. So you really got to get to the heart, the meaty, juicy center of that reason, whatever it is. Once I have that reason, then I'm going to look at my schedule and be like, okay, how much time can I dedicate to this? How much time am I currently spending on things like meal prep and watching TV, and how much leisure time do I have? Is there anything in my schedule that I can cut out? Are there any tasks that I have that I can delegate to somebody else to make more space for things like exercise and nutrition and that kind of thing? How much time can I reasonably dedicate to this project of losing 50 pounds? Once I've determined that, you know, like, okay, cool, I've got maybe, you know, 30 minutes a day that I can dedicate to this project. How fast am I going to need to see some kind of result to be encouraged to move forward? How fast am I going to have to see some kind of result before I lose my wherewithal to keep going? You don't want to rely on patience. Humans are not patient creatures. We're just not, okay? Yes, we can accomplish amazing things, willpower, patience, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about any of that. As your coach, I don't ever want to hear you talk about willpower or patience. We're going to talk about achieving you know, results so that we can keep going and keep getting that encouragement, right? And of course, measuring the right things, being specific about what we're trying to achieve. All of these things are wonderful, but let's be real with ourselves. Am I the kind of person who needs to see nearly immediate results? If that's true, I want to make sure that I'm focusing on the right things that I'm trying to achieve during this time frame. So while my big goal might be lose 50 pounds, maybe I've got a real short attention span, and I say, I want to see results in 1 week. Now, you're not going to necessarily see fat loss or weight loss results in 1 week just because of the nature of how our body is. So the goal shouldn't be like 2 pounds per week necessarily, even though that's a very sustainable rate of weight loss. Number one, 2 pounds isn't terribly exciting, even though it's sustainable and it's realistic and all that kind of stuff. It's achievable. Maybe my goal is I want to come up with, in week 1, my specific goal then is to come up with 5 different recipes that fit my macros that I really enjoy, right? So knowing yourself, know thyself, know how impatient you are. If you are very impatient, then be realistic of like, okay, I'm going to start this new schedule, new things, blah, 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 and I want to see a result in 1 week. And if that result is evidence that you can potentially continue along this path, then that is good. Maybe, let's back it up and do a different goal real quick here, okay? Maybe you want to get stronger, right? Maybe you want bigger muscles. You want to be big and strong. You don't care about weight loss. You're happy with your body composition as it is, but you want to be big and strong, okay? You're not going to get big and strong in a week, but maybe if you have a very short attention span and you know, I want to see results in 1 week, maybe just making sure that you have a schedule locked in and making it to those specific times, even if you're not working really hard, but just making sure that your schedule's locked in and you say, oh, my goal for this first week is just to make sure that I can actually dedicate the time to the activities that are going to get me to my goal. Because if you can't even do that, you're not going to have patience for the long term. You want to make sure that if you have a very short attention span, that all of your all of your specific goals end up really centric around the action steps, on achieving those action steps, and put the pressure on those action steps. Now, in the measurement of that wouldn't be then, oh, I can lift more weight, or, oh, I've lost weight on the scale, or, you know, the measurement would be, did you do the thing? Did you check the box? Yes, I made it to my workout. Yes, I did the walking I needed to. Yes, I ate the things that I meant to. Yes, I learned the thing that I needed to take it to the next step, to the next level. Yes, this was sustainable for me. And also be willing to reassess at the end of whatever time frame, whatever time boundedness you assigned to that. So if you get through week 1 and you're like, wow, I way overestimated my ability to stick to a rigorous routine of exercising twice a day, every day. That was too much for me. That was way too much. I was not able to tick all the boxes. Then we can set a new SMART goal, try again for another 1 week long experiment. And that way you actually can build up on what you achieved in the first week, which was establishing what is actually achievable for you. Sometimes we don't know until we get started what is achievable, right? Which is why this is possibly the last thing on your SMART goal. So first, make sure it's relevant. Whatever your reason is, it's got to be a good one or lots of good ones. Secondly, decide how much time you're willing to dedicate to your goal, to the achievement of your big dream goal. And then we can start narrowing it down, making it specific, measurable, achievable. And until next time, I am your coach, Melanie Black. If you would like more coaching with me, you can go to www.thenerdgym.com. Please go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment below and tell me what SMART goals you are going to try to achieve. What is your big relevant goal? And how big is your time, are you a patient person? Let me know in the comment. I want to know, are you a patient person? All right, I will see you next time. Bye.